Welcome to the channel, everybody. My name is Brooke Hiddink, and I'm an e-commerce entrepreneur located in Dubai. I'm originally from Canada. Today, we're going to be discussing the top dropshipping niches of 2023, and today we're going to be covering specialty kitchen products. So I'm going to be giving away thousands and thousands of dollars of free value along with some excellent niches. So if you take any value from this video, please ask that you subscribe to my channel below, like this video. If you have any questions at all about any of the content that I covered today, put it in the comment section and I'll do my best to answer any and all comments. And without further ado, let's dive into today's video, which is going to be on the top dropshipping niches of 2023 on specialty kitchen. So before we get into the actual products, we're going to discuss why is this a solid niche. So a lot of the products here have very, very high demand compared to some of the other niches. So very, very high volume products. People who are kind of interested in these specialty kitchen items are usually very rich consumers. And a lot of this stuff actually has a B2B angle as well. Consumer would be buying it for their household. Also, lots of businesses or restaurants would also be interested in these same items. So you have kind of a nice combination of things there. Very high demand products, rich consumers, along with a solid B2B angle. The demographic considerations are usually going to be homeowners between like 30 and 60 years old for the most part. Gender pretty equal. Higher income earners, homeowners within that 30 to 60-year-old range. So in terms of needs versus wants, so I always give this example. A want would be if I wanted a new microphone, I'll go to the store and buy a new microphone, but I want it because I already have one, so I don't need the microphone. Where something like a wheelchair, for an older person, they can't get around without the wheelchair, so they would then need the wheelchair. So a lot of this stuff, in economic uncertain times, you want to try to sell needs if you can. But that said, if you're selling wants, you want to target rich customers because even in uncertain economic times, rich consumers are going to be affected less than people in the average to middle class. So even though the economy might be uncertain or unstable, rich consumers still have disposable income that they can use to buy things that they want. So a lot of the stuff here is wants, but that's somewhat mitigated by the fact that we're selling to rich consumers and businesses. And businesses are obviously richer than people because they can write off expenses and everything like that. So they have a lot more money than people do to buy expensive items like this. So without further ado, let's dive right into the top 10 specialty kitchen products to high ticket dropship. Product number one is pizza ovens. So we have 113,000 searches per month, which is very, very high. You can see the demand is really skyrocketing over the last 5 years or so. Relatively non-competitive product, might be slightly seasonal with some peaks in the summertime, but definitely a want, but overall an excellent product and usually very high margins on these things. Number two, we have juicer. So it was very, very stable for a long time, but you can see recently in the last year or two, the demand has absolutely skyrocketed. We have 210,000 searches per month. So again, another very, very high demand product, really not a lot of competition. Obviously these range in price. And one thing I forgot to mention on the first slide, regarding price. So a lot of the stuff you'll see here might be available for like $200, $300, but we really want to target the high end of the market. So we want to be selling the versions of all these products that are at the high end, so $1,000 plus. So just something to keep in mind when you're going through the products. If you think, oh, that's only a couple $100, yes, like you might be able to find one for that, but we want to be targeting the ones at the highest end of that. So we want to be targeting the versions of the product that are most expensive, so the $1,000 plus ones. So that's definitely the case with juicers. You can probably find a cheap one, but this thing's insane. So this would be excellent for restaurants to target for restaurants who would be selling fruit juice of some kind, or if like a really rich consumer wanted this for their home, they would be looking to buy because the juice would be so fresh, it would be far, far better than something small. Product number three, we have espresso machines. So a whopping 318,000 searches per month. Demand is slightly increasing over time. Not as steep as something like this or this, but slightly increasing over time. Not a seasonal product. It's definitely a want. You can definitely, it's not like you ever need espresso. Well, I guess I probably do need espresso. So for some people, it might be a need, but from a lot of people, it's a want, but there's also a B2B component as well for this for any sort of coffee shops. So tons of demand, very expensive item, increasing in demand over time, and very good target demographic with businesses and rich consumers. Product number four is a high-end food dehydrator. So it looks like the demand is actually declining, which is super unique, but still 27,000 searches per month and a really, really low cost per click. So there's really not a lot of competition with these, which is excellent. And it's a want and also a B2B need potentially. Number five, we have wine coolers. So we have 60,000 searches per month, which is quite high. The demand is relatively stable, it looks like. It's not a seasonal product. It might be slightly increasing, but very, very stable for the most part. and usually a want, but if you're buying something like this, obviously very, very rich target demographic who would want something like this. So just, even though it's not a need, the people buying these things usually aren't concerned with money for something like as elaborate as that. Product number 6, we have food processor. So this is essentially like a blender, a grinder to grind up food. 150,000 searches per month, slightly increasing over time. Not a seasonal product, want, and a potential B2B need. Product number 7, we have blender. So again, very high demand, 214,000 searches per month, increasing in demand over time, reasonably steep. Not a seasonal product, but definitely a want as well. Product number 8, we have a stand mixer. So 71,000 searches per month. Demand is increasing over time, reasonably steep. Not a seasonal one. Some of these peaks here you see are during holidays. You don't really count holidays during, and when you're looking at the seasonality, because there's not really seasonality. It's just that's when people are buying the most for gifts and stuff. So you usually negate that when you're considering seasonality, but definitely a want. We have freezers. So huge demand, 130,000 searches per month. We had a huge peak during the pandemic, but overall it is still increasing, as you can see. This is above the line, this is below. Not a seasonal product. And want, but I guess it would also be a need because people actually do need to freeze their stuff. So I probably should fix that and put need here. And lastly, we have Japanese or knife sets. So again, peaks during the holidays, 60,000 searches per month for these. Demand is definitely increasing over time. Not a seasonal item except during the holidays, which is when everything's kind of in peak per se. Definitely a want. Obviously, you can get these for much, much cheaper, but if you want a high-end set like this is going to go for over $1,000 for sure. So just to review the top 10 products in the high-ticket dropshipping specialty kitchen niche, we have the pizza ovens, and this is a wood-fired pizza oven particularly. We have juicers, we have espresso machines, we have high-end food dehydrators, we have wine coolers, we have food processors, we have blenders, we have stand mixers, we have freezers, and we have knife sets. So hopefully you took some value from this video. If you took any at all, please hit subscribe below, like this video, and if you have any questions, put them in the comments. I'll do my best to answer any and all questions. Thank you for taking time out of your wonderful day to watch. I appreciate you all, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.